Well, hello there. What have I got here? This is Amanda, Creative Gardener, and we're on several different missions, but today's mission is to cut back my fountain grass. So my fountain grass grows at the front. I've got 4 main bushes, you would say, quite large, and you have to keep them trimmed to keep them nice and neat. Actually, let's just go and see, shall we? Let's walk this way. So you can see I've laid down some already, but let's keep going. Okay, so how many have I got? 1, 2, 5. Yeah, so this one. So this one is the one I'm currently working on. It grew massive. This was the first one I ever planted, and it was planted from, if you can get them at the here where the roots will be, you plant that. I cut it back, so you plant that, yeah, from here, even from there, because there's a few roots there, and once it's planted I would chop this off and leave it, and it's grown into this. So I wanted 5 when I first landscaped the garden. It's been an over a few years journey. So this was the first, and then as that one took and grew, I then split it and put one here, there, and there. So yesterday I chopped back these 2, and I have to keep them at a certain height because I've got power lines over just this section. So keep them at a certain height, and then it just regrows and they bush out. And even this particular one has laid down a new set. I was just looking at this, I thought it was on, like, connected, but it isn't. So this one has set a new set, but I'm going to leave it because I do actually want them to grow, just say to here, because I was going to put a little gate here, like a nice wooden gate, and I might even still be able to do that. I've just recently trimmed my mahogany tree. Anyway, so fountain grass, it's just like, it's like a grass, but it has these nice little feather type things here. And that's where all the seeds are. Seeds are in here. I've never planted it from seed. I've always just taken, like, where, so this isn't a good example. Let's go to this one. You might see it where it starts to bush here, or to gather here, this section. You can plant that, or as I showed you before. But if you keep them, like this one has never been cut, if you keep them trimmed, they actually, like this one, it doesn't have as much dead bits around it. But I can come and trim this up, cut this right down, and then they'll come back. And yeah, they were looking really nice with their these tufts. Yeah, they look really nice when they get like that. And there's 2 different varieties. There's one with just the green leaf and the white tufts, or this one. I prefer this one because the colour contrast in the garden just makes it look nice. So when I was planting these out in the front, what I wanted was just to have them spaced and then interspersed with other plants, but to keep everything at, say, a particular height. This is it's called false sage, and it has these lovely little flowers. It's a bit spindly. I think I should have, I got this from a cut-in as well, and what I should have done was keep it trimmed to enable it to get, be more controlled. But I've just allowed this one to grow as it may, and every now and again I chop off the ones that are trying to escape, and then I just plant them elsewhere, and then they grow usually quite well. I've taken the fountain grass around other parts of the garden, and you can see how well they're doing in that. This particular part of the garden gets a lot of shade. Sorry, a lot of sunshine. And as I say, this one was growing particularly large. So I've still got all of this to cut back, but it's not something that you can do all in one day. I've got several other jobs to do today. So this was one that I wanted to, I've managed to get those two, and I think they look nice now. Now they're nicely trimmed, and maybe do a little bit of the front, but I need to get this one under control. So just cut all of this off, all of this front bit, and I've just been repositioning the seeds, putting the seeds elsewhere. You can easily didn't want them out here, easily remove the seeds, and they're just dispersed in the wind when it's time for them to come off. Come on, Cole, come, let's go. So let's go and see some of the others where they grow. I think some are in a more shaded, one of them's in a more shaded spot. And yesterday, when I cut back the other two, I dispersed a lot of the seeds. So like, I'm just going to put these, this is my deadwood hedge, but within it is growing the Mexican sunflower. When we had the ash fall, all of this, so I don't actually use this Mexican sunflower that grows here. When we had the ash fall, I know, and some of it's new, but everything was just covered in ash. So since then things have been growing, but I don't use this in cooking. I just use it to kind of keep this deadwood hedge together. Yeah, so we've got some of the fountain grass here, and I had planted it here before this mini tree appeared. So I've just allowed it to grow, and grow it has. See, all of this back here, I haven't really trimmed this, again because I just want to keep this hedge feature. And we've got some elephant grass. So this is elephant grass interspersed. So yeah, I've just allowed it to grow and do its thing. We've got a mongoose. I don't know whether it's a community in there, but it's a mongoose living in there. And so yeah, it's just grown, and it will probably try and just spread. But that again, that is fine, because this is Mexican sunflower, and wherever the grass can grow and just come up in between so you don't see any spaces, that's okay with me. And so this is how it's spreading. It just runs along, and then we'll put down some roots here on the ground. I've got another one behind my tamarind tree, and again that's just growing. I think the tamarind tree roots is going to be a lot deeper than the fountain grass roots, but again it just acts as another little screening. And if it gets too big, see, these are a lot smaller than the ones at the front, but if it does get too big, I'll just chop it back and keep it behind the tree. And I've got another nice one. Come with me and you'll see there's a world of pure imagination. Okay, so this fountain grass, I've got one here, and I've got just one here growing as well. And I'm just leaving that, allowing that to do its thing as well. It's much shaded here. It because of the Mexican sunflower trees, it doesn't really get much sunlight. The afternoon sunlight, say after 2 o'clock. And then when this mango tree grows, it's definitely not going to get any sunlight at all. But it grows nicely. It's in this spot. I just wanted to cut up this area. I've got a curve kind of going. I've put some, can't really see them, But I put these mini wooden posts from a tree. So I'm trying to create a curve here, and you're able, if you want, to go round here. So yeah, I just placed it here, and it makes a nice little feature. So once this grows up, you'll come and see that. But I just wanted to create, so I like the circles and curves, and this one is also trying to send itself along here. So I haven't decided whether I want to keep this here, and then what it will do is grow along here. So maybe I'll do that, because nothing else grows on this part of the garden. I've got the trees in there and some plants at the back, but yeah, maybe just have like a line of fountain grass growing there. So that's the fountain grass. Let's go back to where we started. So this is where we started. So I cut it back, I take the seeds off, and I'm going to put this again around the border of the garden. And then I cut it up and I use it, just chop and drop on the paths, because when it rains, these bits especially get muddy. Now, if you're on a budget, like me, you haven't got, a big truck coming full of wood chips. Ideally, that's what I would love to be able to, put on the paths, some wood chips, interspersed, it's a new word today, interspersed with some, I'm going to be making some stepping stones using these, creating a design with these terracotta pieces, originally pots, and I've just been finding them. They're emerging in the soil, and every now and again, even though I collected, this is when I went around the garden the first time, I collected all of these and put them here, and now I'm finding others around the garden. They're just popping up. Anyway, so yeah, I chop this up, and I'm going to lay it on the floor. So that's one of the things that you can do if you're on a budget. Look at the grasses that you may have, because even though I have to do this, I say twice a year with the fountain grass, because I just allow it to grow, and then I chop it up and use it just for this purpose. But again, as I say, we're coming into the rainy season, and this is just going to die down. Just like what you can see in this spot is when the grass got really long and we got the guy to come, I just laid down the grass. So the grass went first, it's died down, and then in the spots where it kind of gets a bit bare, I'm now laying the fountain grass. We do actually will be needing a cut soon, so I haven't done this area. I did this area yesterday, and this is just going to die down. It will change colour, and see, especially in this area. But I really like the look where it's like, you can see that that's a path, it's not just the mud. So like in this particular spot, as soon as it rains and the water saturates the soil, then it's just going to get muddy and coal, which is again one of the reasons why I put this down, is that he's not then bringing in muddy paw prints in the house. And so we have rain. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I think it's hopefully a passing shower, and I'm going to go in and contemplate the next big job that's got to be done in the garden. So remember, if you're on a budget, there are different things. Look at that. I love that look up there. Look at the path. Or even the leaves. Depend on the rain that you get. I guess, you have to be careful with the leaves because they can get slippery, but this is fine because there's rocks underneath, and it's never, really slippery. And oh yeah, there's a person shower. So see what you can use as a replacement for something that you might need. That it doesn't have to be a permanent solution. So as I say, this is not a permanent solution. I can only do this twice a year, and it lasts, say, for about a month. But for the time that we have with the rains coming, it serves a purpose, because I didn't want grass growing here. So there are patches of grass, but I try and keep it really low. So that's like one less place that has to be mowed, but it needs to be covered. So think about what you can do. Think about what you can use. I mean, I can also use it as chop and drop, which is a great idea, which I use the Mexican sunflower. Anyway, I'm going to go now, and I hope that you have a blessed day. Take care.